The Midday News is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM. We are on myjoyonline.com, live in all 16 regions of Ghana. ATL FM in Cape Coast, KTU Radio in Kufredia. We're live on X Spaces. We're on Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrol Sol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. This afternoon, NPP group in Parliament spits fire at Speaker of Parliament as they escalate their war on him after he declared some of their seats vacant and made them the minority in the House.
Yesterday, Mr. Speaker did his worst. But we are not perturbed by all these because clearly Mr. Speaker wants to be in the good books of his party. He wants to remain Speaker again for a second term. So he wants to be seen as having helped his party.
We have details from the House where the NPP MPs have been detailing their next line of action. Also, the NDC side has meanwhile jumped to the defense of Speaker of Parliament following criticism from the NPP for declaring 4 seats vacant. We have the very latest on that. Also, experts are meanwhile warning of dire economic consequences if the NPP proceeds to boycott Parliament. Also, this afternoon, Education Ministry set to meet parents after they raised serious concerns about the change in the academic calendar, forcing the awards to skid through the curriculum.
The first years were originally supposed to vacate on 5th of December 2024. And now they'll be vacating 28th of October and then resuming 30th. And the whole idea is to also be able to make room for the first years that will be coming.
And there's sports plus more here on the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu. Please do stay on for details. Many thanks for staying with us. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. We start off from Parliament, and it's just a day after Speaker Alban Bagbing's grand ruling, which shifted majority control of Parliament from the NPP to the NDC. While the NDC side has been jubilant, the NPP side has been contesting the ruling and insisting they still are in the majority. The two sides have been addressing the media in separate news conferences in Parliament today. We start with the NPP, and the group are raining fire on Speaker of Parliament for his ruling yesterday that effectively made them the minority part in the House. Alban Bagbin declared 4 seats vacant and significantly altered the balance of powers in the House. Minority Leader, or should I say the Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Marking, accused Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin of seeking to be in the good books of the NDC, who they say wants another run at the speakership in case the NDC wins.
First, we are sad that Mr. Speaker, with his years of experience in parliamentary politics, will take the path he did yesterday, basically condescending and doing the bidding of the NDC minority. From day one, this parliament has seen one chaos or the other, all as a result of the behavior of the NDC minority and often supported by Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker did his worst. But we are not perturbed by all these because clearly Mr. Speaker wants to be in the good books of his party. He wants to remain Speaker again for a second term. So around this time that there's going to be elections, he wants to be seen as having helped his party to win the elections. He is no more seeing himself as a speaker who is a father of all. And that we find very disappointing and most unfortunate.
Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante was at that press conference, joins us on the line. Kweku, so what exactly are the next steps the NPP is going to take?
Well, Alexander Afenyo-Marking admits that the events of yesterday have overreached their injunction application. They are going to take some legal steps to ensure that their cases are heard expeditiously at the Supreme Court, but they doubled down on their decision not to attend Parliament between now and when the Supreme Court delivers a verdict on their case.
Well, I will not begrudge him because I believe in the fidelity of the law. NPP, we are known for always using the law to achieve results for the good of the country. So we will not go bonkers. We will not go unruly. We will not foment trouble in the house. As our first step, because of the chaos he has created, we have boycotted parliamentary sitting. Second, we are going to vigorously pursue our matter in court. We believe in the court, and we are going to pursue our matter in court until the court determines the matter. If the court makes a determination that indeed, per the provisions of Article 97.3, if a person, upon being elected a member of parliament on a particular ticket and decides to contest future elections under another ticket, that person will lose that seat, so be it, would abide by the rulings of the court. So we'll stay back and not want to participate in the chaos in the chamber created by Mr. Speaker. Meanwhile, we have become aware that the injunction application has been overtaken by event. We are lawyers. We know what to do. And we'll be fortified by the law to look for another process to ensure that the right things are done. So we'll argue our case in court. Meanwhile, we call upon the good people of Ghana to condemn the conduct of Mr. Speaker and then the NDC minority.
Well, Kweku, so they insist that they are still in the majority, plus the personal attacks on your person.
Well, yes, the leader of the NDP group insists that their side is still in the majority. But if I look at the standing orders of Parliament, it says the majority leader means a member of Parliament designated by the majority caucus as their leader in the House. And then the standing orders defines the majority caucus as meaning the members of the party or parties that have the largest number of seats in the House. As of yesterday, the NDP had 138. The Speaker has now vacated 3 of their seats. It means they have 135. And 1 seat on the NDC side have also now been vacated. So 136. As the numbers stand now, and until the Supreme Court overturns the ruling of the Speaker, the NDP group in Parliament is the minority, and the NDC are now the majority. And in fact, Alexander Afenyomarkin takes us on, particularly he zooms in on me and Joy FM and says that we are peddling falsehood. But of course, we have only stayed with the facts as have been presented in Parliament. We have referenced the standing orders in doing our stories, and we have just paid fidelity to the law. Okay. We haven't peddled misinformation. None of us have had any redeem agenda as we sought to accuse us. We have just sought to put out the facts as they have been in the last few days.
Stay with me quick, because we know that the NDC side have also been holding a press conference, but I've been joined on the phone by Joy News senior editor and head of our political desk, Evans Mensah, joining us on the what transpired in Parliament regarding that personal attack by Alexander Afenyomarkin. Mr. Evans Mensah, thank you for joining us. What exactly is our position on what Alexander Afenyomarkin said in Parliament today?
That Afenyomarkin is absolutely wrong. He knows that the law is the supreme architecture of this land, and that in 2020, when Speaker Michael Quay delivered that verdict that vacated the Fomena seat, it was true then and it's true now that when the Speaker, who is clothed with the sole authority to deliver such a ruling, has delivered the ruling, whatever he has delivered holds true until the outcome of the Supreme Court that he's seeking becomes a reality. And there's a reason why he's gone to the Supreme Court, because he knows that until that declaration by the Supreme Court is delivered, the Speaker's ruling is the law of the land in Parliament. And so the MPP is in the minority as we speak today. He is wrong, and his accusation that we have an agenda is one that is not borne out by the facts. We are a media house that reports only the facts, nothing more and nothing less. And that is what we'll stay true to. And that is why we say that we are fearless, we are independent, and we will keep doing that. And in fact, he's done this yesterday, and he's gone on a tangent with a press conference to do it again. And we just need to let him know that we will continue to report our facts, and my journalists and all of us will continue to do our work. We will continue to be fair, but we'll continue to be firm. and be fearless, bold, and credible in what we do.
We appreciate your time. That's Evans Mensah, a senior Joy News editor and also the head of our political desk. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku is still with me because the NDC side have also been holding a press conference, jumping to the defense of the Speaker. Kweku, tell us more.
Well, yes, according to Ahmed Ibrahim, the Speaker of Parliament just sought to apply the Constitution. He did not interpret. And as the minority side now, the NPP side have been claiming that the Speaker has sought to interpret the Constitution. That is not what he has done. And they have defended the conduct of the Speaker, and they say they are charged by the majority are unwarranted.
He said the notice of pull by the Electoral Commission is out, and the pictures of those 4 MPs are there. They have changed their status, and based on that, there is automatic cessation. If you listen to the Constitution very well, it's a member of Parliament shall vacate his seat if he leaves the party based upon which he came to Parliament at the time of his election into that Parliament. So at the time of Kojo Asante's election to Parliament of Ghana, he was MPP member. And therefore he must remain MPP member until 6 January 2025. At the time, Apia as Andiasiama, MPP and independent member for Fomina, was filing his nomination to come to Parliament in 2021. He came as an independent member for Fomina, and therefore within the 4-year mandate, his status must not change. Have their status changed or not? It has changed. And the Speaker says that that article was put into the Constitution to be able to protect the loyalty of the members of Parliament to their constituent. So if you have come and you have changed your loyalty, should they still allow you to be there? So clearly, we don't need to belabor this. And I don't think even a Professor Wayoseni got it wrong. And you don't need a professor to tell you this. It's as clear as that. So I don't think the Speaker got it wrong. The political parties, if not politics that they are doing, are aware of the consequences. And that is why they always defer primaries in those constituencies that they are massaging. If not, why is it in January they didn't open nominations in Fomina?
Well, Kweku, also the question about whether the Speaker should have waited for the Supreme Court decision before making a ruling on this case also came up. What's the NDC side's concerns?
Well, they reference that and say that there was nothing that actually stopped the Speaker of Parliament from going ahead. In fact, the Speaker of Parliament on the floor yesterday made the point that he had not, in fact, been served by the documents from Afenyo Markin and his lawyers. He referenced a circular that was put out by the Chief Justice that said the Speaker of Parliament and the Parliamentary Service, when they are acting with regards to business on the floor, can only be served on Mondays. And so the process which sought to serve them on Tuesday, they can actually go through the system and they have not been served. As far as they are concerned, until the Supreme Court vacates the ruling that have been made by the Speaker yesterday, they are the majority and the NPP will become the minority.
Why were they dodging it? So we must not take it as if it is the Speaker who has given the ruling. Then they are saying, oh, there must be Supreme Court. Speaker is interpreting the Constitution. He must allow the Supreme Court to rule. My brother, was it the Supreme Court that ruled against Abraham Kofi Asante? Was it the Supreme Court that ruled upon Inu Safuseni? Was it the Supreme Court that ruled upon Andi Asiama? They say Andi Asiama, MP for Fomina. My brother, if it is not broken, don't fix it. You go to Supreme Court for interpretation. But as long as Parliament is concerned, the one who defend and interpret the rules of procedure, so long as Parliament is concerned, is the Speaker of Parliament.
That's Ahmed Ibrahim. Is a deputy majority whip where political scientist Professor Ransford Jampo says the precedent set in 2020 and 2024 in Parliament where seats were declared vacant could have come or could have happened again if care is not taken.
You know the right thing and you sacrifice it just because of partisan expediency that will come back to haunt us. MPP did it and Ukwe, they liked it. Now it was wrong then. Now it is being done against them. Now they are crying. They should have frustrated or they should have prevented that interpretation by Professor Ukwe. But they enjoyed it. Now it is being used against them. Okay. And now they are crying. And I'm saying to the NDC that they shouldn't be too happy about this because tomorrow too it may be used against them.
Well, in a related development, Dean of the UPSA Law School, Professor Kofi Abochi, says Afenyo Makin's petition to the Supreme Court to restore the NPP as majority in Parliament may not affect the decision taken by the Speaker.
What the court cannot do is to second guess the Speaker by determining whether or not his interpretation of the law in terms of the determination of vacancy, whether the Speaker has properly interpreted that. So it's a very fine line. It's one that the court itself established, as I indicated, 40 years ago, reaffirmed subsequently in other cases. Yeah. And so it's very, but it's important for me to add that right now, the caveat, that the court has the jurisdiction to not respect its own jurisprudence.
Well, we've been hearing from residents of some of the constituencies affected by the Speaker's ruling. We can go to the Aguna West constituency in the Central Region, and some residents have been reacting to the news.
It's not a problem, say we don't have MP for now, because we voted for Cynthia Morrison to represent Aguna West, and due to one or two things, his personal interest or whatever, she can choose to do whatever he wants. We are happy for a new person who is Honorable Chris Atta yet to come. Hopefully, we wish that person to also come take control. He can go. It is when people decide he cannot do anything. Cynthia Morrison is not enough, or he's no more than the whole Aguna or something like that. So
I'm say, the yeti asemno. I'm say how you how me amani nukadanda and I'm say abato Aguna West and I'm say Obiara office sabi. Maybe
the coffee ball. I'm say, a Grand West 2016. Yamame Honorable MP. What to Abamano? Nyama Bebre na Akoso. After 2016-2020 election, one would the Cynthia HCC Anwa. One window, what claim say one what Cynthia Nasam. Abaya Kotoe. Why a nipa 5.
Well, some reactions there from the Aguna West constituency in the Central Region, where Cynthia Morrison is currently the MP. Well, we've been hearing from residents of Fomena, also in the Ashanti region. Well, you heard there some residents of Femina essentially saying that they are not too happy about that decision and that they would vote for Andrew Sesiama again. Well, meanwhile, economist and lawyer Daniel Enim has warned about the potentially disastrous economic consequences if the NPP caucus in Parliament boycotts their parliamentary duties. As hinted, Enim expressed concern that if the new majority caucus fails to approve crucial bills, particularly emergency loans, the country's economy could face severe strain. Before we hear from him, here's a report highlighting outstanding business of the House.
Mr. Speaker, then clarify. Please, Mr. Speaker, listen to me. Mr. Speaker, listen. Honorable Majority Leader, I don't want to proceed to make some orders. Please, resume your seat.
A charged atmosphere as Speaker Alban Bagbin declared 4 parliamentary seats vacant, shifting the majority control of the House from the MPP to the NDC. It's a moment of celebration for one side and deep frustration for the other.
It's so clear, but we believe in the law. We, as the majority caucus, immediately are boycotting Parliament until this matter is determined by the Supreme Court.
But beyond the political standoff in the House is concern over the impact on public business and the potential repercussions of the economy. The absence of the MPP minority could hinder critical government business if their threat of boycotting Parliament is carried through. This is particularly so for government business, which does not align with the interests of the new majority. Key businesses at risk include the approval of the $250 million Ghana Financial Stability Fund, a $300 million package of tax waivers, the confirmation of 2 Supreme Court nominees, and the approval of the budget for the first quarter of 2025. Without the participation of the MPP minority, progress on these crucial items may stall, potentially impacting economic stability and governance.
We can now hear from economist and lawyer Daniel Enim.
It also depends on where the facilities are going to be, used. If we need it immediately into critical sectors of the economy that will anchor economic growth or stabilize the economy, then of course within a short term it may have some economic replication, which I believe that of course it is meant to anchor economic growth, and failure to do so may distort the kind of progress we are experiencing gradually in terms of our macroeconomic stability and even the growth of the economy.
Economist Daniel Enim there. It's time to get into the election headquarters.
Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants (CIMA) and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants (AICPA), together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental, Wellness and Beauty, Shopbox Technologies, a convenient service, Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development, and Syntex Tanks, a strong, a tough.
And this afternoon, NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama has raised concerns about what he says is the exclusion of allodial landowners in the new Saglemi housing project deal. He says a future NDC government will review the current agreement to ensure the active involvement of the local people. Maxwell Agbagba has more from the first day of John Mahama's tour, where he responded to President Akufo-Addo's challenge to him on Galamsey and free SHS and the NDC's new status in Parliament.
Excitement here in the Thon Kantamanso constituency after Deputy Minority Chief Whip Comfort Doyukuju announced to the crowd that the NDC was the new majority in Ghana's parliament. Later in his speech, John Mahama described it as a sign of the NDC's impending victory in December.
Before we have cast one ballot in the 2024 election, NDC is already the majority in parliament. And so there's no doubt in my mind, inshallah, that the NDC is winning the 7th December election.
John Mahama took a direct jab at President Akufo-Addo, suggesting that the president might be sleeping or is not in the country. President Akufo-Addo 2 days ago challenged former President John Dramani Mahama to clearly declare his stance on Galamsey and the free SHS.
It looks like he doesn't live in this country, because I've commented on Galamsey over and over again. It is his responsibility. The people of Ghana elected him. He is currently the president of Ghana, and it is his responsibility to deal with Galamsey now. I know that after 7 January 2025, when Ghanaians have voted for me, I will take that responsibility and we will sort out illegal mining. Again, he's not in this country or he has been sleeping.
John Mahama also ruled out the possibility of debating NPP presidential candidate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Bawumia doesn't deserve a debate. He is losing this election. I will not elevate him to my level and go and sit and debate him. Their campaign is failing. They have no message. And so he wants to be elevated to my level. No. I know my level. Has he forgotten what he said? He said I should go and debate the taxi drivers and the drivers who cannot buy petrol. This is the same Bawumia today asking me for a debate. As for him, the people he will debate are many. He should debate the nurses who are sitting at home who have not been posted.
Well, we can now hear him speaking on the Saglemi housing deal.
It was NDC that started the Saglemi housing project. We consulted the people of the Gopram before we started that project. After we left, this government has abandoned it. Recently, I hear they want to give it to private people. But the point I'm making to them is that if you are changing the status of that project from a government project to a private project, you need to discuss with the allodial owners of the land. And so I know they haven't done that discussion. You cannot alienate that land by handing that project to a private company without the permission and discussion and negotiation with the allodial owners who are the Ningo people. And so when we come, we're going to review whatever you're doing there. That project belongs to the people of Ghana, and you cannot just hand it over to the private sector without going through the appropriate procedures. So that is a notice to them.
NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama, they're taking us on a quick break here on the Midday News, live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, myjoyonline.com. We're live in all 16 regions. We're on X Spaces, we're on Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. We return from the break with sports. Education Ministry also set to meet parents after they raised serious concerns about the change in the academic calendar, forcing the awards to skid through the curriculum.
The first years were originally supposed to vacate on 5th of December 2024. And now they'll be vacating 28th of October and then resuming 30th. And the whole idea is to also be able to make room for the first years that will be coming.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a Petrosol station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
The luckiest
star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 hash and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere for everyone.
Dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I to tickets as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win Nistika Kessie. Prizes are Kessie in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
The luckiest
star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's do sports.
And we're still taking stock from Ghana's shocking defeat to Sudan. Head coach of the Black Stars, Otto Addo, has spoken for the first time since that defeat. He says he felt dead following the win, following the defeat, and it only took family members and friends to talk him out of it.
I was, to be honest, I was like the last 2 days I was dead. But now I got a lot of positive feedback also, and a lot of support from family, friends. And this is the time where I need them. And also I think all the players, all the team needs it. And this brought me back on track. And very, very important for us, I think, to think ahead now, to try as much as possible to win the last games. Mathematically, there's still a chance, and we will give everything. We prepare the team. We try to prepare them even better than before to reach our goals.
That's Otto Addo. We have more sports at 1:15.
Thank you very much, and we are waiting for game plan much later. And just before we head out, it's a Friday, and of course, as usual, we bring you all the fun side, and Prince Kwame Kudoga brings you a catalogue of some of those moments in the following report.
Let's start from here.
That's the issue we have with the Electoral Commission. Sometimes they are discriminatory because there are some people on this ballot paper who Bernard Mona qualifies more to be here than those people.
Well, this did not sit well with some of the candidates on the ballot paper. It's been a busy week for President Akufo-Addo and NDC's flag bearer, John Mahama. The two have been trading barbs over the ongoing battle against illegal mining. Let's listen in as they go toe to toe.
Today, he said that no, he doesn't believe in jailing
that he's against Galamsey, that he will enforce the law. So once again, we have to ask ourselves, because every time you speak from one corner of your mouth and you speak from another corner of your mouth.
So he should just tell his Flagstaff House media to get him the tape of what I said at the University of Energy and Natural Resources. It is his responsibility. The people of Ghana elected him. He is currently the president of Ghana. And it is his responsibility to deal with Galamsey now.
And if you thought the president was going to let Mahama have the last word, think again. He's now challenging the NDC leader to a debate, not just with him, but with MPP's flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia.
Why is John Mahama running away from the debate? Bawumia says he's ready any day for the debate. Why is Mahama running away from the debate?
Of course, John Mahama wasn't going to stay silent. He had a witty comeback ready for the president.
Their campaign is failing. They have no message. And so he wants to be elevated to my level. No. I know my level. As for him, the people he will debate are many. He should debate the nurses who are sitting at home who have not been posted.
One thing is for sure. When you are aiming for the highest office, you've got to be ready to do it all, even if it means speaking the language of the streets.
Me, I be patron of Lepers Aid Ghana. Me, then lepers, we they eat, we they drink, because they want help. Me, I be farm laborer before, by day worker. I be taxi driver before. I be cleaner before. So, where you see me, I dey. So my heart is dey the street.
Prince Kwame Kudiga's reports for Joy News.
And that's the midday news for today. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Living Word with Pastor Mensah Otabil. Take Bold Steps, episode 5. Up next, I am Emefa Apawu. Have a good afternoon.
This year's elections, I am really confused. I don't know who to vote for.
Why don't you know who to vote for? Let's listen to one policy JDM says he's going to implement when he's voted.
I think so NDC ban. They be bien Juman kitten. My person branch executive na di omo ho begim. Say yankoko na person hwe a poultry farm ketu ebi ne ama akoko bo no ne ton koko na ma ne ama eduane a wo de beto eduane ama sika wo de beto eduane ama.
But why are you laughing? My guy, relax. So this is the reason he wants us to vote for him? Oh, the man hasn't changed one bit. Same old dead goat. Now let's listen to one of the many policies Dr. Bawumia has for the youth.
Jobs would be my major focus. Now, me be training 1 million youth in digital skills.
And see, that's not all. Apart from that, he's going to set up SME Bank to enable SMEs expand, to create jobs for the